Welcome to part 4 of the Python Hangman series of videos. In this video I will be doing a search and replace operation on a string and another string for the game. Alright, so to start with I'm going to make sure that I'm in the right folder in terminal. So I'm going to type in ls and make sure that I have my Python files in here. Okay, then I'm going to go to my text editor and I'm going to make a new file and I'm going to save it as search and replace .py. Okay, so the idea behind this program is going to be that I take a string with a phrase in it. I have another string that has a bunch of asterisks in it. I'm going to search for a character in the first phrase. When I find it, I'm going to replace the asterisk in the second phrase with the character from the first. Alright, so I'm going to start with, I'm going to make a phrase that would be the hidden phrase in the game. This is the phrase the person's trying to guess. And I'm just going to call it test me please. And then I'm going to make the game phrase. This would be the one that would show up as asterisks. So right now I'm just going to put in a bunch of asterisks. So we have 4 there, space, and 2 more. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and the next thing is I'm going to need a character to search for. So I'm going to have the player type in the character. So I'm going to do, we'll just call this test character. Equals inputs. And we'll have to type in please enter a character. Like that. Okay, and then what I also need for this is an index. So I'm going to do an index equals 0. And what the index is going to do, it's going to give me the position in the string. So if it's on the T, the index would be 0. If we go to an E, the index would be 1. And then S2 and T3 and then the space 4 and so on. So it's just going to go through the string and replace as you go. Okay, so the next thing is I'm going to loop through the hidden phrase and test for the game phrase. Now before I do that, I need to do one thing to the game phrase. Right now it's a string, and a string is not able to be changed letter by letter. So what I need to do is I need to change game phrase into a list. So to do that, it's pretty easy. You just type game phrase equals and then list, and then inside parentheses you type game phrase again. Okay, that'll turn it into a list and I can change it character by character. Alright, then I'm going to do a loop. So it's going to be a for loop. I'm going to type for. I'm going to make a variable. You can call it whatever you want. I'm just going to call it C in hidden phrase. And what this loop will do is it'll start with the first letter in hidden phrase, which is a T. It'll assign it to C. So C will be equal to T. And then the next time it loops through, it'll get the second letter. So C will be equal to E, and so on. So what I do is I'm going to test each one of those letters against the test character and see if they're equal to each other. So I'm going to type in if C is equal to test character, and then if it's equal to test character, I want to replace the game phrase, the same index value, with the test character. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to type in game phrase, and I'm going to use that index. So I need to do the square brackets, and I'm going to do index, and I'm going to make it equal to the test character. Okay, and that's all we need to do for that if statement. So I'm going to back out of it. One more thing to do in the for loop, and that's I need to add 1 to the index each time it loops through. That way it'll be on the right letter when we change it. So I'm going to make index equal to or plus equal to 1. And then I'll add 1 to index each time. Okay, so I'm going to back out of the for loop now. And I'm going to do print, and I'm going to print out the game phrase. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save it and test it. Alright, it's not going to work the way I have it now, but it's an error it's a pretty common error, and if you see it though, you're not going to know what it is. So I'm going to show you what this error looks like and how to fix it. So I'm going to do Python, and I'm going to type in search and replace .py. I'll press enter. It'll say please enter a character, and I'll do E, and it'll give me that error I was talking about. Alright, this error is due to me using the wrong kind of Python. There's two different kinds of Pythons. There's Python 2 and there's Python 3. The programs we write in this class are for Python 3. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to run the Python 2 with a program that's written for Python 3. So to check that, what I do is I type in Python with nothing after it. I'm going to press enter. See how it says Python 2.7.12? So that tells me I'm using Python 2. So to fix that error, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to type in quit like this to get out of the Python, and I'm going to type Python 3 like that, no space between the Python and the 3, and then the name of the program, which was search and replace. Okay, I'm going to press enter. Please enter a character, press E, and it works. So there's our E there, there's our E here, and there's another E. It got all 4 E's from the test me please. Alright, and they are in the correct positions. I still need to do one thing because it looks a little weird right now. It's still a list. See how it's all kind of spread out like that? So what I need to do is I need to join it back together as a string. So before I do my print game phrase, I'm going to go in and I'm going to do game phrase equals, and I'm going to do open and close quotation marks like that, and I'm going to do dot join game phrase. That'll join it all back together again as a string. So let's save it and run it. So let's enter a character, type E again, and this time it worked right. So it says test me please. We got the correct letters.